So oxytocin is released when we are cuddling a pet. It's the love, bonding, trust hormone. It's the orgasm hormone. And it is the key hormone for the female nervous system. Small daily choices, laughing with a friend, tuning into this podcast. I love this podcast because you guys are so funny and you're always having a good time.
Thank you.
We actually really do love each other, so that helps.
Most of the time. Like,
Sometimes.
Like 65% of the time, I would say.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Do-Over Divas. Our guest today is Isabella Mainwaring. She is an author. She is a Forbes 100 corporate strategist turned pioneer in women's hormone health. We're so glad you're here, Isabella. Welcome.
Let's jump right in. You went from being a Forbes 100 corporate strategist to coaching women on hormones and energy. Why and how did you make that pivot?
I will tell you a story. So when I was 21, I thought I had made it. I'm at the World Economic Forum in Davos with a group of climate activists. We were there camping in the snow at this luxury ski resort while everyone's flying in on private jets and staying in these wonderful chalets. And we were there educating world leaders and leading thinkers and celebrities and all sorts of people who were at the World Economic Forum on Arctic risk.
And you were 21.
21. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
I was in bars at 21, but
I was done with bars by 21.
I was definitely an Australian living that London dream. I just somehow managed to find the most incredible boss who really was such a lovely mentor and was very keen to bring me into all these opportunities. And so I'm there thinking, I'm going to meet the most fantastic women who have it all, and they're going to show me how I can have it all, and I'm going to have the amazing corporate career. I very much saw myself, 10, 20 years down the track, like leading a big team in the corporate world. I loved my strategy consulting job so much, and I loved solving big challenges for companies and getting, creative with that, especially in the social impact arena. And on the second day of the forum, I was at a very intimate brunch on women's leadership. There were only 20 women there. My boss really wanted me to participate and pulled up a chair next to her. And we went around this table, a circular table, making introductions. We're looking out over snow-capped mountains. I'm thinking, oh my God, I'm in the room where it happens. This is incredible.
Wow.
Like, these are the women. And every woman introduced herself, very polished. This is my insert very incredible position, and this is my vision for feminine success and leadership, and this is what I'm doing in my position, etc., etc. And when it came around to me, I just passed the microphone straight to my boss. I was like, I have nothing to say. I have nothing to contribute. I'm 21. I don't know what I'm doing here.
Right.
And my boss passed the microphone back to me, and everyone's looking at me with
and you
such
peed
kind
your
and
pants
warmth.
just a little bit, right?
Oh, hugely.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I kind of just froze and my hands wobbling.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm Isabella Mainwaring and I'm an advocate for women. I have no idea where the words came from. And suddenly all these women who had such polished introductions and were so polished and so articulate and beautifully dressed and very successful, having shattered glass ceilings, started talking about infertility, toxic relationships, lack of boundaries, imposter syndrome.
As women do, right?
Yeah.
They get real quick.
Even the most powerful, successful women battle the same things.
Yeah.
We were talking about challenges and barriers to women
in the corporate world.
Success in the corporate world and sustaining success, and why there seemed to be so few women in senior positions. And, a lot of the women were speaking from personal experience, like I sacrificed a family, or I had a really big health scare and I thought my career was over.
How interesting that they were all willing to go there. It's great.
They were. I think, when women gather, especially intimately and especially in a circle, magic happens. And I think we are all so keen to help each other and be open and honest, especially at those stakes. I think that was a discussion that all the women, I think, felt that they could maybe be their real selves in a whole calendar of performance and shaking hands and, putting themselves out there. I think that it was a moment of intimacy in a very hectic event schedule. And honestly, by the time the microphone came back around to me, I said sort of as a joke, like, does it get any better?
It's a good question.
At 21.
Hardly.
Yeah. No, that's a great question.
That is a great question. Because
Yeah.
at 21, you think it's got to get better.
Well, yeah.
No.
And
And honestly, the pity in all of their eyes, like they just... And I'm like, okay. Thanks
all
for the
right.
real talk.
Enough said.
here's the track I'm on. Good to know.
A lot to look forward to as a woman in this world.
Yeah.
Good times.
Totally. And I'm there at 21 naively thinking like, I can have it all and I can be the corporate, like, I hate these terms, like CEO, girl boss, like so condescending, like I'm
Yeah.
just a boss.
It is.
And
It's condescending
Right,
for
right,
sure.
right.
totally. And I'm like, okay, well, I am Isabella Mainwaring and I'm an advocate for women and I will find another way and I will have it all on my own terms because this is not looking like a road I really want to pursue. And so that was my turning point where I'm like, okay, so this is not the sustainable road for me. And thank God for those women, truly, they changed my life.
Was that somewhat devastating to you as well, though? Because it sounds like it was a track you had been on kind of strongly for a while, right?
It was really disorienting because you're on such a high. You're like, I'm at the pinnacle of corporate success.
Yeah.
You know, everyone in my family's going, oh my gosh.
Right.
And I felt like the rug had been pulled out from under me. And I thought, oh gosh, like all the narratives of female empowerment that I had been fed I'm sort of on the cusp of Gen Z and millennials, you know, we sort of grew up on that whole women can do anything and be anything narrative. And I watched my mum work. She was incredibly successful. And I realized that women were empowered, but enduring, if you see what I mean. So
Exactly. That's a beautiful way of putting it.
Yeah, it is.
So you sort of discovered that all the roads you think had been built actually were sort of under construction and you were going to have to finish all of them.
totally. I thought, you know what? Thank goodness for these women. They have fought for gender equality. They have fought for their right to be in this room and to take their position up in the workplace. I am now going to fight for gender equity, which is where we recognize the differences in men and women, because I don't think it's fair that women are only allowed to succeed in a way that works for men and works for men's bodies and men's biology. We should be allowed to reach success in a way that works for us, allows our biology to thrive and our relationships to thrive. And that really became my mission then, to celebrate the differences between men and women and create, you know, feminine success, as was the title of the brunch that I was at.
Have you seen a big change since then, between then and now, in that area, that women are embracing more how they can be successful on their own terms?
I think it's been really beautiful to watch menopause enter mainstream discourse and for women to feel a lot more comfortable talking about this huge transition, for example,
Yeah,
rather
they
than
are.
sort of hiding it in the shame and the stigma. But I do think that we have reached a crisis point where, you know, look at the way that men are going, you know, increasingly lonely, disenfranchised, heading towards, you know, extreme political views. We've got women who are succeeding at high rates in education. We're so educated, we're so successful, we're so smart, and yet we've reached a crisis point in fertility. 80% of autoimmune people diagnosed with autoimmune diseases, conditions are women. And I think collectively, you know, we're realizing that something is wrong, but I'm not sure people have really pinpointed what it is. Still, every day I talk to women and they're like, I don't know why, you know, I can't get pregnant in this job. I'm going, okay, well, you work 80-hour weeks and
Right.
you do everything for everyone else all the time in your life.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
You put yourself
You know?
last and you're stressed. It's very hard to get pregnant, even if you're completely fertile, in a world, which I love how you put it, is it's a patriarchal world that is not really designed for women's well-being. We're supposed to jump into the man's world
Right.
and work the way they do. And yet we're also supposed to become pregnant and always look beautiful. It's very difficult to
That's
find
not
that
difficult
balance.
for you, though.
I'm perfect,
Yeah.
though. So
Always beautiful.
Can you tell us what it means working with your biology? Because I love the concept. I'm just not sure how you do it on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, so working with your biology, not against it, is not about stacking on the crazy 5 a.m. 10-step morning routines or whatever the internet's trying to
You're
convince
talking
you
to the
is,
right
like,
person over there in that chair. Please continue.
Yeah,
Sorry.
that's your audience right there.
Yeah.
And it's not about taking on more or becoming someone new or overhauling your whole life.
Right.
It's about becoming more you. So in my world, that comes down to 2 core practices. The first one is prioritizing pleasure. And when I'm talking about pleasure, I'm talking about the hormone oxytocin, which is the love and bonding hormone. It's the hormone of connection. So oxytocin is released when we are cuddling a pet. It's the love, bonding, trust hormone. It's the orgasm hormone. It's the breastfeeding hormone. And it is the key hormone for the female nervous system. Unsurprisingly, most of the research on the nervous system has been done on men, which is very dopamine driven. So having that 10-step morning routine, having the goals and achieving them and ticking off the list. But the female nervous system and our hormones and our bodies to thrive need pleasure. It turns off cortisol, which is our primary stress hormone, and it helps our body feel safe and come out of survival. So that's small daily choices. Laughing with a friend, tuning into this podcast. I love this podcast because you guys are so funny and you're always having a good time.
Thank you. We actually really do love each other, so that helps.
Most of the time. Like,
sometimes.
Like 65% of the time, I would say.
No one's ready to kill me.
That's fair. Yeah.
Exactly. So, plugging into this and hearing that sisterhood and feeling that connection and having a laugh, that is what oxytocin, like pleasure-based living is. It's, yes, it's the breath work, but it's also the Taylor Swift concerts, the Barbie movie, the Wicked movies, the book clubs, all of the stuff that women have been doing intuitively, increasingly over the last few years, right? It's this oxytocin renaissance, the retreats, the girls' night, the movie night, everything that we instinctively are drawn to and wish we had more of in our lives. That's oxytocin-based living. And so the more you prioritize pleasure and what makes you feel really loved and safe and like you belong, the safer your body feels and then the better your biology is. And when you're doing that, crucially, step 2 to this is it allows you to slow down. To hear your body's wisdom and to work with your body, you've got to make space to hear what it's.
Yeah, you really do.
But women are the doers. We're the pleasers. We're the go, 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 go. In a way, I feel that women are the superpower of any society because of our sensitivity, our emotional, connection to each other, but everybody else. And so it's really hard for me, and I know for Libby and I know for Corey, to just take that moment to allow ourselves to sit in the pleasure because I feel like there's something more important I should be doing. What do you say to those women that are powerful or struggling to find that quiet place and allow themselves to do that?
Oh, I love this question because that was me. I'm a recovering very fast walker. And
right there with you.
Yeah.
I'll walk with you. We'll be ahead of everyone.
Sprinting. Yes, like sprinting
She has
everywhere.
recovered.
Okay. I'm not recovered
to do that anymore. Let's be
She'll
very
get her
clear.
back. She'll get you back.
I'll get you back
walking.
fast walking.
I love it. So I'm a fast walker. I used to eat so quickly. I would, if I had a matcha or a turmeric latte, I'm inhaling it. I'm inhaling the caffeine, everything. My life was on 2 times speed, watching Netflix on 2 times speed. Like that was my mode of operation.
Yeah, gotta get it all in. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
See,
and
you feel it right now.
And even when it came to a yoga class, I'm like, oh, what is the point of Shavasana at the end? I just want to go and get on with the rest of my evening.
Oh my God, I can't do yoga for that reason. It's too slow.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Listen closely.
The body is like so wired on these stress hormones. It's like, I can't relax. There's more to do. And so even, I speak to women every day who are like, I just rush through orgasm. Like I cannot stay in that pleasurable feeling. Wow. It's like ticking a box. And I'm like, that's where we need to be focusing. It's crude, but I'm like, just kind of live your have more orgasms.
That too.
And that's where we need to be focusing.
Just be like, how can I make this lunch more orgasmic in terms of how can I really slow down while I eat my food and be like, that's actually really good. I'm actually tasting my food.
Right. That is my biggest challenge, honestly. Sometimes my husband will be like, what do you think of the food? I was like, I don't know. I'm just trying to be not hungry.
Yeah. Yes. That's actually a metaphor for everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
for everything women are feeling.
He makes me like slow down. Yeah.
So do you feel like menopause is life's way of making women stop and slow down? Or is it something to be embraced, or is something to be defeated?
Oh, yes, I love this so much. I am 28. I have not been through menopause, but
Right.
But you've heard.
Yes.
Brace
So
yourself.
I will speak to what the science says and what I know to be true about the women that I've worked with and what I see every day. And honestly, I think that menopause is the most misunderstood of all of the 8 potential hormonal transitions that women move through. So to contextualize menopause, before I answer your question, men go through 2 hormonal transitions, right? Puberty and then the very gradual decline of their testosterone, 1% per year. Women can move through 8 hormonal transitions over their lifetime if you choose to have a child. And every single shift, your body and mind are changing. They're rewiring, they're readapting to help you take on your new role and your new challenges while connecting you more deeply with your strength and purpose. And in Chinese medicine, I love this so much. They call menopause a second spring because it's literally freeing women from the burdens of reproduction, right?
Yeah.
It's a spring, it's new life, it's this blooming so that you can redirect your energy to yourself. It's this gateway that nature is really carefully crafted to help you access deeper power. And what happens, which is fascinating, the science emerging about menopause is just incredible. So your brain is streamlining and it's enhancing your focus, it's enhancing your emotional resilience and your adaptability and your problem solving. It's lining up with this amazing evolutionary theory called the grandmother hypothesis, which basically says that menopause happens to prime women to help them step into leadership roles in their communities and mentors and nurturers and system shapers. Like, we live longer than men for a reason, right? Like, we clearly have a value.
Right.
We are the keepers of healing wisdom and culture. And I think all of that paired with the fact that in menopause you become so sensitive to cortisol, like you can't tolerate any BS, you can't tolerate anything that's out of alignment with who you are authentically.
I didn't know that. I didn't know we became more sensitive to cortisol. That makes sense.
That does make
Absolutely,
sense.
because I feel it immediately, and I'm like, too much cortisol.
Yep.
Yeah, immediately.
I feel like I'm in fight or flight the way I never have been before, and I miss the old self that didn't feel that way every day.
You have not always felt fight or flight, because it seems like as long as I've known you, you're like fight or flight. I'm in or out.
I guess in a negative sense, like the anxiety that comes with menopause.
You think fight or flight can be positive sometimes?
I do. I think it can be.
Really?
But I think my cortisol, but to get back to what you were saying, the cortisol levels when I'm now in menopause are off the charts.
Triggers
and
it faster.
Oh my God. Yeah. Just
gotcha.
like you, like I feel immediately anxious about something when 5 years ago, I wouldn't have really cared.
Yep.
And that's something I would love to get to, and your tools to help people not only combat that, but reverse it and heal from that feeling of constant anxiety and exhaustion that comes with menopause, the fun park of menopause. So the spring that it should be doesn't feel like it.
Yeah, exactly. And menopause is asking you to slow down, to prune everything in your life that is out of alignment, that's crossing your boundaries, and just helping you really focus on yourself. The first part of your life is all about outwards, service, maybe having children or helping your friends raise their children or whatever it is. And then menopause is all about you actually withdrawing all of that back into yourself and standing in your power. And I love watching celebrities. Jane Fonda is a great example of this. She got super into activism on the other side of menopause, getting arrested, for climate change activism. She really stepped into that like wise woman, crone archetype that menopause prepares you for. And it is a real opportunity to detox, delegate, and ditch, which is one of the frameworks that I detail in my book, The Power We Hold. And it's all about just giving yourself a life audit and saying, okay, like, where can I detox and outsource or streamline things? Where can I delegate and actually ask for help?
Yep.
And where can I ditch things altogether?
Yeah. Yeah. I do all 3 of those things, I think, every single day.
Do you? Good
Absolutely.
for you. Good for you.
No, I didn't choose it, but I feel that, definitely feel that difference.
Do you?
Yeah, we got the D thing going. That's good. I like that. Detox, delegate, and ditch.
Detox, delegate, and
love
ditch.
that.
I
Yeah.
love that. And that's, I think, the empowering part of menopause.
Yes.
Instead of feeling defeated by it, just go, okay, now it's me time now. And I can detox, delegate, and ditch. I love that. I want a t-shirt made of that.
Yes, make t-shirts, please.
It would be my pleasure. I would wear one.
Can you explain a little more your whole, and forgive me if I'm not pronouncing it correctly, Thetasomatic? Like, explain it like I'm a 12-year-old, which I really am in my head.
Absolutely. So when we think about what's happening during menopause, we have big shifts in estrogen and insulin, right? So your cortisol levels, like you were just saying, you know, they feel sky high. You feel like you're in fight or flight. And that is true hormonally. But then also, if we think about what's going on when women go through menopause, before you were likely a grandmother or great grandmother, if we really take the generations back, you're probably chilling. You're retired. You're living in relative peace. Now women are going through the peak of their careers. They've probably got teenage kids going through puberty.
Yeah.
You know, you're holding the most amount of stress.
Yeah, I was actually gonna ask that because oftentimes women are, and I don't mean for this to be a focus all on menopause because there's so much more to hormones than that. But you know, so many times women are starting even perimenopause or whatever right when their kids are also hormonal, and it creates such a clash. And it's like, of course, because they're teenagers and we're grown women, it's our responsibility to like bring it in, keep it under control, and understanding it really helps that. Well, you have girls, so yeah. Probably more challenging.
So give us the steps that women can take, you know, before menopause, perimenopause, and menopause. I know they're all very different. You know, maybe like a life hack or a moment, you know, where we can say, okay, take this 5 minutes and give it to me. What are the steps or life hacks you can give to women who are combating that cortisol, that anxiety, that exhaustion?
Like a tool, right?
A tool. Thank you. A tool.
Yeah. So I'll combine your last two questions. So the tool that I've developed to help women, no matter what hormonal transition you're going through, is called Thetasomatic. And this is what most women don't realize about what's happening or what's related to the hormonal shifts that's going on. So you may or may not know about the subconscious mind, which is, you know, if you've ever gotten in a car or you've even walked somewhere and you've ended up at your destination and you're like, whoa, I was not present for that. I don't even know how I got here. That's kind of freaky. That's your subconscious mind in action, right? So it's running 95% of the show. And they're your thoughts, your habits, your automatic reactions. It's why you self-sabotage, or you're a perfectionist or a people pleaser, or you let people walk all over your boundaries, even though, you know, going through menopause, you're like, I need my boundaries. So there's this invisible operating system that's running the show and making you either feel very safe and confident in your environment or stressed or overwhelmed. Then we've got the nervous system, which actually is responsible for, people don't realize this, 80% of your body's signals go from the nervous system up to the brain. Only 20% go from the brain down. So that means your nervous system, paired with your subconscious mind, they work very closely together, decides whether you're in repair mode, which is hormone balance, healing, self-repair, and having the capacity to allocate resources to places in the body that are maybe struggling with the hormonal shifts of whatever period of your life you're going through. Basically, repair mode gives you the capacity to have more resilient hormones and less associated symptoms. Or your nervous system says, okay, we're in survival. We've got stress hormones firing. Everything's feeling harder. The body's allocating resources to keeping you alive, not functioning and thriving. That's when menopause symptoms really flare and exacerbate. And this is where the somatic work comes in. Somatic work is essentially body work. So combining the two, we've got the subconscious mind, theta, and somatic. So what's happening here when you're doing this is I guide you either through a recording or in a one-on-one session into a very relaxed, dreamy theta state. And you can do this whether you've got, 5 minutes in the morning as a busy mom, or you're younger like me and you've got a bit more time, and you sort of open your subconscious mind, that state that you get into on a nice walk or a meditation. And the nervous system can finally go, okay, we're safe, we're good. We feel open, we feel relaxed, which for many women, doesn't happen every day. And that's when we can look at the beliefs that are running your life, like it's not safe for me to set boundaries, or if I'm not perfect, everything will fall apart, or it's not safe for me to rest. Rest is selfish, and it's selfish for me to put myself first. And we can start rewiring them. And so we're using the two most influential parts of you to rewire your beliefs and rewire the way that your body responds to the world around you, so that you feel peace and safety and resilience. Now, for those who are listening who are like, that sounds like a lot of stats and science, and I'm just a little bit lost, I'll paint the picture of what it looks like on the other side of this work for you.
Okay.
So when you're using your subconscious and your nervous system to create safety, you just walk through the world like an exhale. You move slowly, right? You wake up energized and excited for the day ahead because you can handle anything that comes your way, and you know that everything's just kind of always working out for you. You're just not reactive anymore.
Sign me up.
I don't have any idea what that feels like. I haven't felt that in years.
She's not even speaking English. I just don't like it. No, I love that. I love that.
And I love that it's really in our power to do that.
Yeah.
Which I love.
Yeah.
So you're saying nervous system techniques get you into a theta state, and then you're able to look at your beliefs and really change
You're
them.
able to look at your beliefs, yes, and also process emotions that you've
Yes.
swallowed. I mean, by the time you reach
That's a big one.
menopause,
Yes,
you've
subconscious
swallowed
things. Yes.
decades of swallowing your truth or swallowing in the anger, So it's emotional metabolism, it's identity shifting, and it's just helping you step into the woman that we all want to be, just laughing in a grocery store line, just like having fun, shoulders loose, jaw unclenched, sleeping easily at night. It's just really shifting your whole identity to be someone who has the set of beliefs that can carry you through hormonal shifts and carry you through your life as a woman without your body being in survival. Just that confidence of like, I'm a powerful woman, I've got this, and I'm in charge of myself, and I can handle anything, and I don't need to be everything for everyone.
Do you feel like you've mastered that? Do you feel like you are that woman often?
I think there are levels to this, right? Where I am in my life right now, I've just written 2 books in a year. I'm on a huge growth edge. I'm becoming the woman who can get on a podcast and talk to you guys and talk about a book. So I think there's a constant evolution, but as a baseline, day to day, I'm in safety. But obviously when you're on a growth edge, you have moments where you feel unsafe. And so, no, I'm not like a walking monk that's just constantly in this place of peace. Yeah, certainly not the case. But I think that's what being a powerful woman is. It's knowing that you can handle anything, and sometimes you're going to get a bit stressed, but you have the tools. And I know that I can handle anything now. And I've crucially been able to have so much success so quickly without sacrificing my health. If you had given all of this to me, the book deals and everything years ago, my PCOS would have flared up. I would have lost my period. It'd be awful.
Right.
And now I'm fine.
And you break all of this down in your book, right? The power we hold.
Yes, the power we hold, reclaiming our health from a system that fails women. So it's a look at how, women have this powerful history as the current of evolution. We led humanity. Patriarchy is 1% of human history, and looking at that evolution and reconnecting women with the power that we hold in our society, and then looking at the way that patriarchy has changed our biology and the way our biology is reacting to that, and then crucially giving you loads of actionable steps and advice. I've got my 5 roots of safety that every woman needs to establish in order to thrive. I take you through each of them. So many tools. I've been so incredibly generous. Like I chucked everything in here that I could so that everyone could have this manual no matter what life stage they're in, and have really tangible, transformational healing results.
Well, you said, we can't be everything for everyone all the time, but that's how women are supposed to feel like they have to be.
But haven't you experienced though that coming into menopause or starting menopause, you feel that less and less? Like I am all about just fuck it, just authenticity now.
I am actually, and that's new because I'm a pleaser, and I've stopped wanting to be a pleaser.
And those people that you don't feel authentic with kind of drop off.
Yeah. I have no time.
The ditch concept.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
It's the detoxing and ditch part of
Yeah,
it.
that's
I'm
like, I
detoxing
can't
that.
deal with that person
Yeah.
because I don't feel, I walk away feeling exhausted. They're sort of an emotional vampire. I feel like they're so used to me pleasing and being a therapist for them over lunch that now, no, I'm going to be
what am I
authentic.
gonna do
I'm
without you?
Well, this is
Don't ditch
This
me.
is why we had her on. This is an intervention.
This is an intervention. You're too much work, Jill. I can't. I'm done with you.
But the authenticity is really, really important because when you're inauthentic, that zaps your energy immediately.
Yes. Yes.
It's exhausting.
That's
It's
a great point.
exhausting. I have a question for you because, let's see if I can clarify this a little bit. So, if you are someone who is, on HRT, which not everyone is, I'm sure a lot of women find Thetasomatics, plenty for them because, I believe that they can work hand in hand or not, or you can,
Right.
choose to, because a lot of people are wary of those hormones. Or the HRT. There is occasionally, because it takes a while for a woman to figure out what dosage, what works for them, what hormones they need. There are sometimes I don't know how else to say it, like leftover symptoms that these are not addressing that feels like maybe that would be a really great thing for Thetasomatics to be able to address. I've found for myself, it hasn't necessarily addressed all of the anxiety. I'll get very tight and anxious. And, it doesn't necessarily mean that you need to up the HRT. Perhaps something like the Thetasomatics, can step in and handle that part of it. If there is that, or I've also found that there are extenuating circumstances. For example, in life, if you're dealing with something very traumatic, that can trigger
Yes.
a lot of the hormones, and you don't necessarily want to turn to drugs or medication all the time, like you're saying. In the UK, they're prone to prescribe. So can Thetasomatics help with that? Because I feel like I went through something very traumatic about 3 years ago, and I feel like I could be wrong, but I felt like it really sort of forced me into menopause, really sped up that process because it was such a shock to my system. Is that something that can happen, or was that my imagination?
Yes, certainly. When the body is under stress, it can certainly accelerate your menopause journey and just say, okay, shutting things down. It is not safe to reproduce. So we'll just jump right into that and exacerbate some symptoms, which is lovely. But yes, Thetasomatics is definitely there to help with the symptoms that maybe the HRT isn't addressing.
Well, because it deals with a lot of things that are running your life and you don't even realize it.
The subconscious that has so much power over your physical well-being as well as your emotional well-being.
Absolutely.
And the idea that you bring up trauma, and I find that menopause has kicked me into revisiting traumatic things even from my childhood. And I don't think HRT, as much as I love my HRT, thank God for my estrogen, I don't think it would address that. I think the Thetasomatics is really the area that would help address that. Correct?
Yeah. So I'm a trauma and PTSD recovery counselor. All my work is very trauma informed. And with Thetasomatics, I have a really lovely mix of practices. So some of them are there if you're ready to revisit trauma, or if you've got some beliefs or events that you want to go in and rewrite and sort of get rid of those emotions and the charge from your system finally. Then I also have some really fun ones like quick goddess mode. That's like 7 minutes of you just like bathing in oxytocin and having fun and like dancing and just feeling really good for the day. So it's there to help you with all of the processing, but it's also there to help you just, get a really lovely start to the day and feel your most confident, best self. So it's not always this like deep, I don't really want to look under the proverbial hood today work. It's also there to just support you, whether it's before bed or before a big meeting, or you just want to feel sexy before a date or whatever it is. But certainly, women in this phase of their life are often having to, by necessity, look at their past and really look at their trauma, because all of these emotions that are stuck in your body increase the level of cortisol. And the body is basically the nervous system and the subconscious are communicating and saying, hey, you've got to look at this. We've got to get this charge out of our system because we cannot hold on to these stress hormones anymore. We're refining, we're letting go. We're moving into a new place.
You've been so great and you've shared so much amazing information. You've cured Jill. I think you've almost cured Corey, but
Almost, yeah. Well, it's going to take
she's
care
a
of
hard-
all of my wrinkles, and I am no longer going to be a bitch. All because of Thetasomatic. I'm so excited.
How do I stop being such a
Her
bitch to
husband will
everybody?
be calling you to thank you shortly.
Yes.
But thank you so much again. So
Thank you.
Power We Hold,
Yes.
the book is coming out and it sounds amazing. We're going to get it. Hormone for Dummies is what you
Hormones
wrote.
for Dummies.
Hormones for Dummies, which,
Yep.
I mean, we're all dummies. And so amazing. Thank you so much.
And I can't wait to get your new book and dive in.
When is it released?
November?
October.
Yes, so The Power We Hold is coming out November 18th, but it's available for pre-order. So I also do the audiobook, which I had so much fun doing. So if you want to download
love
an
it.
Audible too, it's there.
You know what?
Oh,
We can
that's
get
great.
some love hormones by going on a hike with girlfriends and putting your book in our ear. Right?
Yes, exactly. And like this podcast, hanging with you guys, is the perfect example of how to have like an oxytocin, pleasure-filled life. Like you guys
Oh, I
are
hope so.
tackling really important topics in such a light, fun way, and it is so special. It's really
Thank you.
special. And important
Thank
work.
you. That's our goal, right?
That is our goal,
Yeah,
actually. Yeah.
Well, you were lovely. Thank you so much for all the information. It's so much to think about, and I'm actually very excited about your techniques. Thank you.
Thank you for all you do for all women, no matter
Yeah.
what age, no matter what hormone they're going through, hormone shift they're going through. Very, very lucky to have you here. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next week on Do-Over Divas.
Bye.
Bye.
New episodes of Do-Over Divas dropping every week, wherever you get your podcasts.